Okay. So there has been this predicament, if you will, that Source is leading a lot of the collective through. Maybe you already went through it, or you're going through it now, or you're getting ready to go through it, just depending on when you find this, okay? You might have already gone through it, and now you're witnessing those that you're connected to go through it too. That never happens accidentally. That's not a coincidence, right? Have you ever noticed how you be going through something, and then every single friend that you have is like, boom, and it's like literally the exact same thing that you went through? Confirmation, right? And this particular situation it's not easy. It's not easy. It's one of them situations where you want to be there. You want to be there to be up close and personal in the energy to help, right? But Source is putting you in a position where you cannot. There are situations or circumstances outside of your control. Eight of Pentacles, and you've got to remain focused. Source is saying you've got to remain focused. And this is intentional. Because when we're too zoomed in, too emotionally, too emotionally zoomed into a situation, or too emotionally involved in a situation, it's very hard to stay balanced sometimes, especially if you have traumas that you're still healing from, right? Even if it's not to say that you're not balanced and you're not aligned, that's not it. It's personal, very impactful situations, extreme situations that Source be moving you through during this time, right? And it is this feeling like you have to stay detached. So Source Love energy will kind of put you in this position where you can't really be there in the capacity or the way that you want to be, right? Because of life, because of ulterior circumstances that are just preventing you from being able to, so that you can stay focused, that Eight of Pentacles, so that you can stay in your place of peace in this detachment. If you were to be right where you wanted to be, like say like right in the midst of the energy to help, it's kind of a helpless feeling because you can't be right in the middle of the energy 2, 3, 4 on the timer the way that you want to be, because you're meant to stay detached a bit so you can stay focused, so that you can make more balanced decisions, so that your energy won't be so overwhelmed. You won't be so overwhelmed, okay? These situations seem to be what I'm calling false flag events, right? They are serious, very extreme, almost emergency situations, but you will find that the severity of the energy dissipates very quickly, and then boom, it'll be a climax, and then it'll go down, and then boom, it'll be a climax, and then it'll go down. Source is doing this. The Knight of Wands, inspired action. All right, so Source Love energy is doing this in this way to kind of teach you to be able to, wow, Three of Cups, stay connected with your inspired action. The reason you might feel, like I said, kind of hopeless or helpless in these situations because you cannot be there in the way you really want to be to help, but staying in a place of detachment, or staying in a place of being kind of away from the energy, whatever that means for you, mentally, emotionally, or physically, it can keep you in this place where you're connected to how you can better take inspired action, because you're going to need to make what feels like decisions, right? The Hermit, you're going to need to stay in your solitude in a type of way so that you can kind of navigate through the energy in a way that's way more balanced. If you were to be too close to the energy, you might become imbalanced. It might take your light a little bit too much, and in that place, in that space, it's very hard to think clearly, right? You're too zoomed in to the worries or the stress of it all. These are pretty big life things that are happening, right? And they have been happening to an extreme. Okay, let me just say it like that, right? The Nine of Wands in reverse is like you might find yourself fatigued. Like, how much more can this happen? How much more can situations outside of your control, extreme severe situations in your life, you almost get like fatigued of it, All right. It's like over and over and over again. You're like, whoa. But this all has a purpose. It all has a so the nine of swords in reverse, this is normally like stress, anxiety, and worries. These are things that are happening outside of your control that would literally used to consume you. It would affect and take a toll on your mental health, okay, to the point where you would stress and worry and stress and worry, even if they're not your problems, they're other people's problems, right? But you take it on like it is. This is teaching you how to not let things outside of you become such a stress and a worry and impact your mental health. It's such an extreme that you learn how to go through these things without them mentally affecting you in the way you are seeing and noticing as you go through these false flag events, if you will. They're not really false flags, they're real. They're real. Just the extremity, the extreme severity of the situations, you will find, yes, it's like boom, this is a serious event that is taking place in my life. But about 2 days later, you'll find, okay, everything's okay. And then it'll go back up, and then it'll go back down, and then it'll go back up, and then it'll go back down. And if you know, you know. If this is for you, it's for you. If it's not, just keep scrolling. You will know. You will know what I'm saying. It is to teach you how to not let the things outside of you mentally affect you in a way. You cannot worry about these things. These things require that trust and faith, that connection that you have been building with Source for all of that time. It was so that you could stay in a place of mental peace about it all while you're going through it, and trust, and stay in that trust and faith. Not become mentally anxious for nothing. You are anxious for nothing. I love you.